Brothers, same roots, different routes. One dreams big, one takes.
Welcome to episode 3 of Same Roots, Different Routes. I am one half of your bro host, Joe. The other half is sitting across from me.
Aaron, let's get into it.
All right, so I got something pretty important I need to talk about right away.
Oh, this should be good. What is it?
Do you know what a courtesy flush is? Because it seems like nobody does.
I think I know what a courtesy flush is, but I'm not positive.
So it's when you're taking a shit and there's somebody else in the fucking bathroom with you and they don't want to smell your shit. You may not notice it, you may not care, but nobody else wants to hear it either, smell it either. So you flush that shit. If you're not done and some came out and it's smelling, you flush it so it gets that smell out of there.
No, never in my life have I ever done that.
Well, you're a fucking asshole then.
Okay, but nobody else has done it for me.
That's
Nobody else.
So
Every
I do
time-
it. So you're gonna not do it for me if I just because somebody
Hell
else
no.
didn't do it for you?
It's a bathroom, bro.
Exactly.
When I go
Make
to
it
the
as
bathroom,
pleasant as you can.
hell no, because here's the deal. One, when I'm in there taking a shit, I'm getting in. If it's a public restroom, I'm getting in there and I'm getting out. There is no,
You've never taken a quick shit in your life.
bullshit.
I've had to wait on your ass
When it's
you're
a
shitting.
public bathroom, I get in there and I get out as quick as I can.
Well, that's a little different because if it's quick, then whatever, because you're flushing quick anyway.
That's
But
what
I'm
I'm
talking about the people that sit in there for fucking 10, 20 minutes. The whole time
The
I'm
only-
shitting,
the only
they were
place that-
already in there
the
and they
only-
didn't leave till after I was done.
The only place that I do that is if I'm at like a family member's house, which is only a one-stall bathroom. There's only one toilet in that motherfucker, so ain't nobody else
That's not what
going
we're
in.
talking about.
And here's the other deal. I don't think flushing it is going to make the smell go
It
away.
absolutely does.
So
maybe
then-
not all of it, but it at least makes it better.
So, okay, I might give you that it makes it better, but why would air freshener be a thing in bathrooms?
I don't fucking know. Just make money. The whole point is, at work, again, fucking bathroom problems at work just all the time. These fuckers don't courtesy flush, and it smells like shit. Literally.
See, I have an issue with that work where when somebody comes out of the bathroom and I go in after them to go to the bathroom, it still smells, even if they flushed. To me, it doesn't make a difference.
So imagine how much worse that smells after they've flushed or before they've flushed. If it
Okay,
smells that bad
I'll
when
give
they
you
did.
that. I'll give you that.
Exactly. It's not a big problem all the time, but there's some people, at least at my work, that it's fucking rough.
But to answer your question, no, I do not courtesy flush.
Well, you should start.
I also
It
didn't
takes
even know
zero
that was a
effort.
thing.
Absolutely.
The only
It takes
okay,
zero effort. Sometimes you don't even have to push a button. You just go like that. Little sensor. Just get out of the way, and it does it all by itself.
the only time I courtesy flush is when I think I'm gonna clog the toilet.
That's not a courtesy flush. That's saving
courtesy
yourself.
to that's courtesy to me, bud.
That's,
I think
that's
it's gonna
courtesy to the plumbing.
Hey, yeah, I'm gonna be a little vulnerable here. There is times where if I'm at like somebody's house and I clog their toilet and I can't find a plunger in that bathroom, I close the door and I leave. I swear to God, I'll just leave. I'm like, I don't know where a plunger is, and I'm not asking for one because I'm not telling them I clogged their toilet.
Well, you done fucked up now. Anytime you come over, if you use the bathroom and then go, oh yeah, I think we're gonna take off. I know.
Well, no,
exactly what to
it's
do.
not like that. It's
I guess I have a plunger.
I kind of play the edge there, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna act like everything's good. Just close the door behind me and hope nobody goes in there before we leave.
Yeah, I guess I also have a plunger, so I would hope you'd use that.
Yeah, if there's a plunger right there, yeah, I'll go ahead and plunge it. Yeah, but if there's not, sorry, I'm not asking you where one is.
Yeah, it happened a couple days ago. It's been driving me nuts. It happens all the time.
I don't think I've ever actually noticed it though, because
Well, that's the thing. It's you only notice it when it's bad, because like the bathrooms have like a general not great smell.
Yeah.
So when it's so bad that it overpowers that, and you're like, something smells like it's dying.
Well, I mean, I definitely have walked into a bathroom and been like, God, it fucking stinks in here. But it's like, to me, I'm like, all right, it's a bathroom. Like, I know it's going to stink in here. So I've never thought about like, oh, maybe I should flush before I'm done so it doesn't smell for other people.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't flush at the end because I'm worried about what it's going to smell like. That's just what you do.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So, like, I've never thought about the fact of doing what you would call a courtesy flush.
Well, you should do it.
I think I might start.
Yeah, it's just a common courtesy. That's why it's called a courtesy flush.
That's fair.
well, I'm just gonna keep talking about my work, I guess, since we're
Yeah.
already on the subject. We had same bathroom stalls. I told you these are a real problem at my work. I was going to the bathroom, and I don't remember if I dropped maybe the toilet paper or something. For whatever reason, I looked at the. Or no, that's what it was. I was looking down because what else are you gonna do while you're taking a shit? And I saw some ants on the edge of the wall. I'm like, why the fuck would there be ants in the bathroom? And I followed the trail, and there was a lot of ants in the bathroom. Followed the trail some more. There was a shit ton of ants in the bathroom. And as I look behind the toilet, there's a fucking container with a fork in it. Do you understand what that means? Somebody was eating food in their mouth, sitting on the stall or on the toilet in a fucking bathroom stall.
Okay. I understand, like, you're eating a granola bar and you're walking into the bathroom and you aren't quite finished with the granola bar before you take a shit. Now, if we're talking, you go up, for my work, we have to go upstairs for like a microwave, right?
Mm.
You're telling me that somebody, let's say it was my work, went upstairs, microwaved their food. Because if there's a fork in a bowl, I'm assuming it's like a to-go container or something.
It was like a Tupperware.
They went upstairs, warmed up their food, and instead of sitting up there and eating it, they decided, you know what? I'm going to walk back downstairs, go into the place that fucking reeks because nobody does courtesy flushes, and eat their goddamn lunch in there. No way in hell am I doing that. Here's the deal. If eating involves silverware, it 100%, no doubt in my mind, belongs in a bathroom. Most eating in general doesn't belong in a bathroom, but if it involves silverware, then you have something wrong up top.
Yeah, I could only imagine they had just microwaved their food. They go to sit down. They go, man, my stomach's not feeling great. How much time do I have? Oh, I only have 10 minutes left of lunch. It's fucking coming. I'm going to have to eat this on the toilet.
No.
That's the only... It's still not reasonable, mind you. I'm not saying this is,
an excuse,
saying it's okay. But I can't imagine anything else that would force somebody to feel like they need to do that. So it's not as bad as going up and downstairs, but like our break room is outside of the bathroom, obviously. And you just walk through a hallway. But our bathroom is also our locker room because like we have uniforms and stuff we have to change. And so like, yeah, I've eaten like a granola bar in the locker room half of the bathroom locker room area. But yeah, I could not fucking believe my eyes that there was a Tupperware with a fork.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like, you could tell there was food in it. Like it was like when you put spaghetti in a Tupperware.
It wasn't like they had got done eating, had it in their hand, was like, oh, I got to sit it down because this is going to be a big one.
Right. I suppose that's it. Maybe they were eating on the way to the stall and was like, I'm just going to set it down next to me because I need to not hold this while I'm taking a shit, and then forgot about it.
I don't care what anybody says. Unless I'm, like, legitimately crapping my pants. Like, unless I'm legitimately, like, if I don't go right now, I'm going to have to go home and change.
Yeah.
I'm not walking into the bathroom with a bowl of food.
Yeah.
Especially if it's what you were saying, where there's like, oh, there's a couple bites left, I'm just going to eat it on the way in. Oh, no, I'm going to eat it outside the door, and then I'll carry the bowl in with me and fucking set it down.
Because there's also, like, plenty of places, like, if it was already done and he was just holding it with him, like, done before he even got in the bathroom, there's places to set it down.
Yeah.
Not behind the fucking toilet. You mentioned shitting your pants just a minute ago.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure I'm lactose intolerant, but I don't give a shit.
Because apparently you give plenty of shit.
Well, yeah, that's true. There's been several times. So there's a Big Steer, the restaurant. We go there and I get mac and cheese there every time, and I just get that for both of my sides because I get my steak.
Yeah.
And every single time we go there, 10, 20 minutes later, maybe not even 20, like 10, 15 minutes later, I got a shit real bad.
Hey, remember when I told you I didn't like Big Steer?
That's not.
I don't think it's your
that. It's the cheese because there's other times it does it too.
Oh, I still don't understand how you guys like going to Big Steer. I did not like it when I went.
I've only had one thing there, and it was fucking great.
Yeah.
So I eat the same thing every time.
I guess if I tried something different there, then I might like it.
Yeah, I get the steak de burgo every single time with mac and cheese, and it's fucking great.
And I'm exactly like you. If I eat something from somewhere that's gross the first time, I'll never go back to it.
No, I mean, the mac and cheese is good enough that I'm still gonna eat it, even though I'm 90% sure it gives me the shits. Heck, a couple weekends ago, or however long ago, we were eating there, and then we, after Kenzie's surgery, and we brought flowers and everything.
Yeah.
We had came from the Big Steer. We ate at the Big Steer, and she said, well, we're going to go over to their house, but I want to stop and get flowers first. So I was like, whatever. Then after eating, we took the time to go to Hy-Vee and look for flowers. And as we got to Hy-Vee, I was like, you don't have much time to look for flowers.
I think I remember you guys saying that when you dropped them off.
And the worst part is, so I don't know if you have been in the Hy-Vee.
In Pleasant Hill and Altoona?
Altoona,
yeah.
And but when you first walk in, there's used to be a bathroom by like the pharmacy.
Yeah.
That's no longer a bathroom.
Really?
Yeah, because that's what we both thought. We're like, oh, the bathroom's right there. Flowers are like
See,
30-second walk away.
you had to go to the other side of the store.
Nope, I didn't. I was like, I don't think I could make it, even though, because like walking over, sitting in a car, I was like, we need to drive away and go to our house. So she had about 2 minutes to look for flowers, grabbed some, paid for them, and the whole time I'm clenching, just like, I can't let my stomach move or it's gonna come. And then so I got home and shit for about 5 minutes, and then we came over to your house and brought flowers. But it happens. It's not so bad because we also get cheese sticks when we go to Big Steer, so it's literally cheese sticks,
cheese, and
then
steak.
mac and cheese. Yeah, so like that's why it's the worst. But like occasionally, if I eat, make my own mac and cheese, or eat a lot of ice cream or whatever, it does the same thing. So I'm pretty sure I'm lactose intolerant.
The only thing I have similar to that would be like if I drink milk, because when we were really little, for some reason we drank milk just straight out of, and
I still do it.
I was gonna say, for some reason, a lot of people I talk to, it's not super common to just
really
drink a glass of milk.
I guess I've never asked, but
it
seems pretty normal.
I still do, and every single time. The biggest thing is I love chocolate milk, so I'll get a big ass glass of it, and then I'm like, 40 minutes later, I'm like, fuck, I feel like shit, and that's the only time is if I drink a bunch of chocolate milk or regular milk. Other than that, I'm fine.
Yeah. We often have to get like a full gallon and then a half gallon of milk because I just get chocolate syrup and I make my own chocolate milk.
It's not as good.
It definitely is if you put enough chocolate in it.
No, because then it's almost too chocolate. It's almost like you're just dropping Hershey Kisses down inside of it.
There is definitely like a line, because like it's taken me a while to. I try to use the same cup every time, and I always fill the milk to the same spot. So then like it's easy to like get the right amount every time. But yeah, anytime I have to switch cups or whatever, it always it's either not enough or too much.
Yeah, it's like hit or miss, because like sometimes I really like crave chocolate milk when we have it, and I just drink the shit out of it.
Yeah.
And then other times it's like I drink like a glass or two, and then we end up throwing like half of it away. Like right now we have half a gallon up there that today's the 22nd. On the 20th it was the Best Buy date, which also I don't know if you're like me.
I'm not. I know what you're talking about.
No, I guarantee you are like me. If the Best Buy date is the 20th and it's the 21st, the shit gets thrown in the trash.
I'm not like you.
I will not touch it.
I will. I'll start to question it at that point, but I'm not just. It's because it's the Best Buy date, not the this is bad date. I've had to explain this to Shelby before. She's on board now.
I agree. Yes, it is a Best Buy date, and you probably can drink it a day or two after. I won't risk it. I'll throw it away. And part of that is, let's go to a story about eggs with Dad. I don't know if you've ever heard this story or not. So it was a morning at Dad's, and Dad had made like scrambled eggs and breakfast and stuff for me, Cody, and Tyler.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was eating these eggs, I was like, these taste weird. Like I don't like them. They don't taste good. And Dad was like, oh, they're fine. They're fine. You're not doing anything today unless you eat them. I made them for you, blah, blah, blah. And obviously I was probably 12 at the time. I wanted to do everything. So I was like, well, I'm going to eat these fucking eggs no matter how much they suck. So I ate all these eggs. Oh, probably 3 hours later, I was literally puking up stomach bile. Like, could not do anything. and that's why I don't like eggs anymore. I refuse to eat eggs.
Really?
If I get like a sausage, egg, and cheese croissant from like the gas station or from McDonald's or whatever, I'll separate it, pull the egg off, and throw it away. I will not eat eggs because of that, because that was probably the sickest I've ever been, was throwing up from the eggs. And then Dad found out after I was puking that the eggs were bad.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dad's not very good with expiration dates.
Yeah,
The fucking
sunscreen.
sunscreen. We turned.
Did they do that to you too? Or
It was when we went to Okoboji.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was all. He's done it multiple times.
Yeah, because he did it. So when me and Kinsey went on the cruise with him and Renee when we graduated high school, so we were in Key West on mopeds all day. I was not burning at all. And Dad and Renee are like, "Oh, we should probably put sunscreen on. It's starting to get a little warmer out. Let's stop and put some sunscreen on." We're like, "Okay." So we put sunscreen on. And Kinsey literally got 3rd-degree burns. She had boils on her skin. She couldn't stop shaking because she was so cold after the fact. But it was expired sunscreen, so it basically just acted like putting baby oil and just laying out in the sand for 12 hours.
You would think, like, I would have never expected expired sunscreen would act
worse
as
for
the
you.
opposite
Yeah.
of sunscreen.
Yeah.
You would think that worst case scenario it just doesn't help at all.
They did it again when we were in Jamaica. They tried to give us sunscreen, and we were joking about it, and we are like, "Oh, is this fucking expired too?" And then me and Kinsey look at it, and we're like, "Yeah, it is. Take your fucking sunscreen back. You're trying to fry us. No thanks."
Yeah, that was that was a fun time in Okoboji though, but
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know
man, I
why
was
we haven't
fucking-
done that again.
we said we were gonna do it every year, and
Yeah.
I don't know why. Yeah, we just didn't really get around to it, I guess.
I know me and you tried to bring it up again,
Yeah.
but it didn't seem like anybody else was really up for it. And I think
Yeah.
that's because everybody but me got hurt.
That's true.
Literally, you, Dad, Tyler, and Cody, all 4 got hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember in the hotel room after I was hurt and beat red from the fucking shit, and Shelby called, and I don't remember exactly how it went, but I was hiding the fact that I got hurt from her.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember much from that other than like on the boat.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess you didn't even drink that night, did you?
I don't remember. I don't remember anything from that trip besides when we were on the boat.
That was when Tyler had to run home because his house caught on fire. I remember that.
Oh yeah, I do remember that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about all I remember is, the boat. Oh, we went and ate at,
How did Tyler get home?
I don't remember. I think he had a car then.
Oh. What were you saying?
I was saying, I just remember on the boat, and then we ate at that restaurant. I can picture it, but I don't remember the name. I don't remember the type of food. I don't remember anything about it.
I don't even remember eating at a restaurant.
Really?
Yeah. I do remember the boat though. That was fun.
Yeah.
We had a blast.
Bad part of it is me and Dad are both older and probably would get even more hurt
Oh,
now.
you guys are just a bunch of babies.
I'm telling you, ever since I went snowboarding with your ass, my back has been a mess because I
Yeah.
fell and landed on my tailbone 1,000 times in a row on not very soft snow. And then I finally, I don't know if I ever told you about that, but when I finally was like, all right, I'm just going to hurt myself more, so I'm just going to give up. And it was at Sleepy Hollow, and I went to take my shit back, and the fucking little teenager at the thing, I told him, not like the full story, but I was like, yeah, I think I'm done early. And he's like, oh, you're just going to give up? I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like, just take my shit and you do your job.
The thing is, though, is there's probably so many people that do that like go for a couple hours is like, no, this sucks. It's too hard. And they're just like, I'm not doing it anymore. Whereas when I first started, I was like, this fucking sucks. Like, I'm not good at this and I don't want to do it anymore. But all my buddies are still going. They're like, hey, you want to go snowboarding? Yeah, I'll go and get my ass beat up all day. So then I went and did that. And now by the time I was fucking 16, I was doing fucking backflips.
One, if you fall and you're fucking 13, 14,
Yeah.
you're not going to hurt yourself that much. But the main thing is, like, I'm fine trying stuff over and over again if I can see how, like, what I need to do to get better. When I was doing that, I just kept trying things. It didn't work. I didn't know what I needed to change. If I don't know what I need to change and I don't have help, or like I'm not making any progress at all for so long, then yeah, I'm not gonna keep fucking hurting myself or wasting time. But if I'm trying something I'm not good at, and like I can see like, okay, well, I'm not good because I'm doing this wrong. I need to focus on doing it this way because I know how it needs to be done. I just can't get my body to cooperate. I'll keep trying.
That makes sense, because especially with snowboarding, like when you're going down so fast that you don't even know what happened.
Yeah.
And the reality of it is 9 times out of 10, it's because you're catching the toe edge of your board in the snow, and then you're fucking slamming.
Because I mean, I did make a small amount of progress. Like I would have
You made it
I
down
could go
the hill.
down the hill straight,
Yeah.
and then there was like 1 or 2 times I managed to make it down the hill going back and forth. Because like I got the general idea of like you need to be on the edge that you're leaning to or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think that was some of it. I couldn't keep my focus enough to like keep my front edge up enough. And so like it was almost always to my backside that I fell. Because that's why, my lower back
then it would
is
have been
fucked up.
So then it would have been you're keeping your heel too low.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I had a general idea of what I was doing, but it wasn't like I didn't have a game plan. Like I didn't know how to fix it. So I was just like, fuck it, I'm done.
Do you remember when I ended up in the hospital from snowboarding?
Yeah, you cut your slice your spleen or whatever.
Lacerated my spleen open because I was do you remember, did I tell you how that happened?
Weren't you like trying to do a backflip or something?
No, dude. Out of all the crazy shit I did on a snowboard, this is probably the least craziest thing and hurt me the worst. So I was at Seven Oaks with Brock, and it was literally, and when I tell you that when you're leaving somewhere that's like, I wouldn't say snowboarding is dangerous, but it's like you could have a dangerous situation. If you're like, all right, we're going to go one more time and then we're going to leave, just leave. Leave before you do it, because that is always when you end up fucking yourself up, because that's how this happened. We were at the bottom of the hill and we both like, all right, we're ready to go. And we both like, well, we'll go one more time and then we'll leave. And we're like, okay, whatever. We get on the lift, we go up. And Brock was like, just record. I told him, I was like, I've been beat up a little bit today. I'm not doing anything. I was like, I'll just record you if you want. And he was like, yeah, go for it. So I'm literally just following behind him recording with this camera. And he goes over this jump, and there's a rollover. So the jump is in the middle, and then there's like a rollover on each side, which is basically just like a big hill.
Yeah.
But if you're going too fast, it is like a jump. Like you're going to get not a shit ton of air off of it, but you're going to get a decent amount of air off of it. And I'm just riding, and I'm recording Brock like this. And he hits the jump, and I look forward. I go like this to record him, and I look forward, and I realize I'm coming over that big rollover. And I was going way too fast. Got air off of it. But as I was getting air off of it, at the same time, my mind was like, slow down. So to slow down on a snowboard, you turn sideways and you put your heels in, so then you slow down. Well, I tried that and apparently didn't slow down enough. So by the time I was sideways, I went over this rollover mid-air sideways and then landed on my front edge of my snowboard, which if anyone's seen those videos of like, I think it's from like Tom and Jerry, where the cat steps on the rake and it comes up and smacks him in the face. That's literally what I did, but into the ground. Like my snowboard dug in, and then I just fucking slammed into the ground so hard. There's actually a video of it because I was recording Brock, but there's a video and you can hear me in the background. I'm like, and it was horrible. That was probably one of the worst pains I've ever felt.
Yeah.
And then we had to drive all the way back from Boone to Des Moines. We got home. I walked through the dad's side door, walked in, and just fucking collapsed in the middle of the kitchen, and then they took me to the hospital.
Nice. Yeah, I can't think of what the worst pain I've ever felt. I know the worst, it didn't actually hurt, but it was so traumatizing that I thought it was going to hurt.
So like my firework to the face?
Maybe. You know what you'll know what I'm talking about when I say, but my kidney stones.
Oh,
when I had kidney, the funny thing is, while I had the kidney stones, barely noticed. I started getting some like weird little feelings, like nothing really hurt. And I've always heard that like kidney stones are super painful.
Kinsey had kidney stones, and they were hurting her bad.
Yeah, like but like until I went to the doctor, I barely felt it, and then they were just like, "Yeah, you got kidney stones. I'm kind of surprised you're not like in pain right now." And I'm like, "I don't know." And then did the surgery, got them pulverized or whatever, because like that's the thing. Like I assumed when they said I had them and they weren't hurting, that they were just so small that I was gonna pee them out or whatever.
Yeah.
But they're like, "Nope, they're too big. You're not gonna be able to not gonna be able to get them out. So we're gonna have to go in and."
That's why they didn't hurt, is because they weren't
Moving, I guess. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I suppose. But so anyway, I got the surgery, and I think I've told you, and I don't know.
You told me all about it, and
yeah, I don't know if
me
anybody.
and that doctor would have been boxing.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody knows, but if you get surgery to get kidney stones out, you get a stent put in, which is essentially a tube inside your tube.
Tube inside your tube.
And I overthink a little bit.
Apparently not this time.
No, it was overthinking, because you're supposed to. Maybe I haven't told you the whole thing. The end of the stent has string attached, so you've got string coming out the tip of your thing, and you're supposed to, when you get told by the doctor, pull it out yourself. And there's. I was like, okay, well, maybe, it's easier than I think. And this whole time I'm thinking, I know how the human body works. Like, it likes to attach to things and heal around things. So I'm thinking the inside skin of my thing is going to heal around that tube. And when I pull the tube out, it's going to pull the inside of my fucking wang out. So from that point on, I was like, there's no fucking chance I'm pulling this out myself. And, they gave me, I think it was hydrocodone or something to make me a little loopy, but like not so much that I couldn't pull it out or whatever. And I got in the shower, took my medicine, waited half hour or whatever, got in the shower, hot shower, relaxed as much as I could. And I just sat there, I swear, for 15, 20 minutes just playing with the string, tugging on it a little bit. Like, maybe it's going to come out easy. I pulled harder, and I'm like, I'm to the point now where I'm not pulling any harder. There's not a fucking chance in the goddamn world that I'm going to pull this thing out myself. And I don't know how people do it. So I had to make a fucking doctor's appointment just to get this thing pulled out. And I'm thinking, they knocked me out to do the surgery and everything, so they'll at least give me something to, make me really relax so I barely notice. They tried to give me, it wasn't morphine. Maybe it was. It was something pretty strong.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they were fucking lying to me, or I was just so worried that it didn't affect me. Like, the whole time I was there, I was like, I know exactly what's happening. and the doctors came in, they're like, well, apparently it's not going to affect you, so we could either do it or not do it. And I'm like, well, I kind of have to.
Yeah.
So Shelby had to lay on my legs, because I was like, I've like just anticipating it. And doctor was, he was not, he didn't enjoy it any more than I did, I'm sure. He's like, I gotta fucking look at this guy's dick, and fucking not a fun time. And I'm sure he's went to his fucking doctor buddies like, this fucking vagina didn't want to pull his own stent out. And so there was no countdown, there was no you gonna be all right. Just pulled my stuff down, laid down, and I just went like this. She laid on my legs, and he just fucking yanked that fucker out. And I screamed. I'm pretty reserved in public. I've never blown up really on anybody, like, loud. Like, I've said some shit to people, but I've never, like, loud screamed and yelled. And I definitely don't usually ever cuss at people in anger. And people across the fucking hospital probably heard me. Shelby she hated it. She's like, I've never seen you this way ever. I was so fucking, like, then that's what I'm saying. When he pulled it out, it didn't hurt. At least I don't remember it hurting. But I was so, like, anxious and stuff that it's like, it wasn't good.
Yeah.
That's all my brain could figure out, was like, that wasn't good. That sucked in some form. It wasn't necessarily pain. But yeah, that was not a fun time.
Yeah, I could only imagine.
Yeah, and So I recently, I think I pulled a muscle real bad in my back.
Yeah.
From I got like I don't know, they said that it was probably pneumonia, but by the time I had gone in to actually be like, all right, I've been sick for like 2 weeks. When they tested me, they didn't have anything there. But I was coughing so much that I fucking tore a muscle in like my back and side. Like I can still feel if I push on it where it was. And I was in full panic mode because I thought it was kidney stones again.
You're like, I'm not going through that again.
They could have told me I had fucking, I don't know. I was going to say cancer, but that's a little much. I was going to say they could have told me I had cancer and I would have been like, thank God.
Every time you look every time you look up on like Google, like this is what's wrong with me. What's wrong? And it's like WebMD, cancer. Every single one. Like it's cancer is always one of the things. It's like it could cause this, but I think all honesty, cancer fucking just causes everything.
Yeah. But yeah, I remember I'm very afraid of getting kidney stones.
Yeah,
again.
I don't blame you.
I cut down on. I used to drink 10 pops a day. I have like one a day, if that. I'll have one at lunch. We have a cafeteria at lunch, or at my work, and they've got a soda machine. I'll get one for lunch, and then like if we go out to eat, I'll get one. But like for the most part, I drink water at home now.
Yeah,
for that reason.
I need to knock on wood after this, but I am very surprised I haven't had a kidney stone. Like I drink at bare minimum 1 Monster every single morning, and then I drink like 2 sodas a day after that probably. Yeah, and I used to drink like 3 Monsters a day. I would drink one in the morning. I would drink one in like the middle of the day while I'm at work, and then I would drink one like right as I got off work. So then when I got home, I wasn't tired.
Yeah, yeah. I never got big into energy drinks. I've drinking. I've drank a few Monsters. I think I probably have less than 10 Monsters my whole life.
Oh yeah. See, I went through a 12-pack in a fucking week.
Yeah.
Last week.
I used to drink Kickstart there for a little bit. I don't remember what I was doing, but I was tired a little more often, and I drank Kickstarters or whatever it is, the Mountain Dew one. Yeah.
Well, if anyone knows anything about the auto trade, we live off of nicotine and energy drinks, and that is no joke.
Yeah.
Dude, I literally, like, I don't eat breakfast. I go to work. I drink a Monster, hit my Alto, work all day. Lunch comes by. 9 times out of 10, I'm maybe eating, like, a bag of chips out of the vending machine. Work all day. Get home. Eat, like, a sandwich when I get home, and then eat dinner.
Yeah. See, I've always thought that was, so, like, that's kind of the stereotype of, like, the military as well, is, like, nicotine and energy drinks and stuff. Yeah. And even when I was in, cause I guess we haven't mentioned, I was in the Marines. I didn't smoke, didn't do any of that stuff. And so like that there was kind of a giveaway of like, I mean, I did it, but I didn't like fit in necessarily.
Yeah.
And
I think part of it was because of the time frame. Yeah. And I also think that's more, when people say that, it's more for like the active duty guys.
Yeah.
Because they're overseas. They don't,
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the only thing that they have that's like you still had times where you could do what you wanted to do and like stuff you enjoyed and made you feel good in a sense. Whereas over there, it's like that's the only thing they have to make them feel good is fucking energy to make them going and nicotine to make them cool off a little bit.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because I was in the reserves. I mean, my whole, because I will say like it wasn't a full 4 years. I'm not gonna go into what all happened and everything, but the whole time was, I don't really remember anything that was much better than okay. It was like okay or bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a few stories, and maybe I'll try to tell them, different episodes. I'm not gonna, put everything out all at once.
Yeah.
But I'll say the main story that kind of describes my time in was it was the MOS school. And it was engineering equipment mechanic was my MOS. 1341, I believe, is what it was. Whatever. So at the beginning, they said whoever gets the highest score at the end of the MOS school will get, I think it was a promotion to, I think you could go up to Lance Corporal. So if you're private, you get private first class. Private first class, you get Lance Corporal. But if you're a Lance Corporal, Like it's like very rare that you're going to MLS school as a Lance Corporal. You don't get corporal from that. So I was like, I'm gonna put everything into it I could, because like at that time, the whole reason why I went to the military was like I don't know what I'm gonna do after high school.
Yeah.
So I'll let them tell me what to do. So at that point, I was like, all right, this is what I'm doing. So I was like, I'm gonna put everything I've got into it, and I didn't have any reason not to, because I didn't have like friends in the military. I had a couple guys that I talked to.
Wasn't that working on like diesel engines and stuff? That's what I thought.
Yeah. You wouldn't know, especially you. Like, how bad I am with cars. I've
Yeah.
taken apart an entire diesel engine and put it back together. Couldn't even do a single step of it now, but I was very good at it for 6 months to a year. And but anyway, so yeah, like I said, I put everything into it. I fucking nailed every test. We did hydraulics and like doing all the like, I don't know how to explain. I don't even know how to explain it now. That's how little I've retained. So, but the thing is, we had a couple corporals that were re-upping, and they had to switch MOSs. They were operators, like the drivers or whatever.
Yeah.
And so like the closest thing was mechanic for the shit that they were driving previously. And so when they showed up, they're like, all right, they're not going to count. So like it's the top of the class besides them.
Yeah.
And sure enough, they were 1, 2, and then I was 3. And instead of getting me my promotion that they said they were going to give, they gave the number 1 guy a meritorious mass, which is basically just like a, hey, you did a good job, because obviously they're not going to promote him for that. And so that's like the general sense of my whole time in, of just constantly getting bullshitted. And it wasn't, I mean, I don't wish I hadn't done it. Like I'm very glad that I did, and it was very beneficial still.
Yeah.
But like, the whole time was just like, this is bullshit.
I mean, obviously, that I was going to join the National Guard, and I actually went to reception and then didn't leave reception after that.
Yeah.
It ended up coming back, and I'm not going to go into all that, but yeah, we even at reception, we had some pretty funny things. Like I met a bunch of just random people from different states and shit, and at one point they had us up in the barracks, and we had to sit up there for we were up there for probably a few hours at a time. And we were up there, and we were all getting bored, just kind of hanging out. And at this point, we still had our phones and shit.
Yeah.
So some of the other guys there took the mattress off of their bunk and put it in, if you've ever been in barracks, you know that they're just fucking long-ass rows of beds. And they put their mattress in the middle of the floor and would run from one end to the other end, jump on it, and just slide all the way down to the other end of the barracks. Well, there's a guy, we called him Cornbread, because he was just, I can't remember where he said he was from. He was from somewhere, but he was just a big, burly, he was only, probably 19 at the time, or corn-fed. We called him corn-fed, not cornbread, but corn-fed, because he's just a big guy. And when he jumped on, so we'd been doing this for, an hour, just because there's, 50 people in these barracks. And when Cornfed went to jump on it, he jumped on it, and as he's sliding down to the end of the barracks, one of the fucking drill sergeants walk in. Dude, we got our asses fucking reamed. But if anyone knows what reception at Fort Jackson's like, they depend. Well, okay, so they have different. I think they're platoons, different sections or whatever, and apparently people say that the one that we were in was they won't smoke you while you're there until you get too basic. Then that's when you start getting smoked.
Yeah.
So we basically just had to stand in formation for 3 hours after that, out in the fucking sun, just standing there, because they wouldn't smoke us. They wouldn't make us do push-ups. They just fucking screamed at us and made us stand there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, obviously, Marines reception is not as lax as that.
Yeah.
But I think I don't remember anything too crazy happening during reception. It was it was that time where it's you're not gonna get smoked, but it still was you're not gonna be fucking flying down the barracks in a on a mattress. So
it
that's
was
wild to me.
It was like, we can't smoke you, but trust me, we will punish you some way that
Yeah.
we're allowed to. I would assume is what it's like.
Yeah,
But
there's.
yeah, I have a video of it happening. Not of the drill sergeant walking in, but of us jumping on the mattress and sliding down the end of the barracks and shit.
Yeah.
And mind you, at the time I was 18, just out of high school.
Right.
So
Yeah, there's quite a few things I remember. Like I said, I don't want to give away all the stories in
Yeah.
one episode, but yeah, like we had a guy pee himself on the parade deck while we were doing drill. That was interesting.
yeah,
But a lot of it, yeah. We'll just
we'll
move
save
on
it for a
because I'm
different
gonna start
episode.
telling all the stories.
Because I don't have many stories from it because I wasn't there very long, but I do have a couple like funny things that I watched happen that
Yeah.
I was like, I'm so glad I'm not that guy.
Yeah. Boot camp is really a funny time if you're. It's either funny or it's the worst time because like
Yeah.
if you're one of the guys that's not doing his shit, then you're gonna have a bad time. But
Yeah.
it's like if you can, like I kind of skated through pretty well. I think there was one, maybe two times I got singled out, but for the most part, I just like I met all the standards and everything, but I wasn't like
Didn't cause any problems.
I didn't cause any problems. I wasn't like extra good, so like I didn't get noticed that way, and so like I just got to basically sit back. Like it was basically a real hard camping trip, essentially, is what it felt like. But there was a lot of funny shit that happened.
Oh, I'm sure.
I think I remember most of it, but yeah, we need to move on because I'm thinking of it and I want to
Yeah.
start telling.
Yeah. Oh man, we can go into one of our new segments that we're gonna start. Just a
Yeah.
random thought of the week.
I think I got a good one. Unless
Let's hear it.
you got one.
No,
involved.
go ahead. While you're going, I'll see if I can think of
So-
something.
What are the chances that there is a Jewish person that owns a, we'll say mixed martial arts dojo, whatever you want to call it, and the name has some form of Jiu-Jitsu?
Jiu-jitsu. I feel like that's probably more likely than we would think.
I'm sure there's got to be at least one. It's like,
Well, then again, when it comes to those guys that do like jiu-jitsu, they're extreme. Like if they do jiu-jitsu and they're for real about it, they're
That's true.
extremely like to a T. Everything's perfect for jiu-jitsu. So I feel like those guys
yeah.
couldn't see it as a joke.
I was gonna say maybe it would be like a for kids thing, but then it's like I don't see them making that joke
Yeah.
for a kid. Like whose parents gonna be like, let's have him
Let's
get
go
into
to
jiu-jitsu. Sir, is this different than regular jiu-jitsu? Is this Jewish jiu-jitsu somehow? But
where we focus mainly on hitting people in the nose.
hey, that was him. I didn't say that.
I don't know
You're
what you're
gonna get
talking
yourself in trouble.
about. Hey, come take all my money.
Jesus. Oh yeah. I don't know. I don't remember what made me think of that. I think I really have no idea. It was a couple days ago, and I was just kind of like maybe listening to something, but it just
Mhm.
popped in my head. I was like, "That's a good question." I was gonna look it up, but I was at work. I know I was at work when it happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, never found out.
Yeah, it's pretty random.
Let's find out. I can look it up.
Look it up. Jiu-jitsu. What?
So the first thing that popped up. Oh, we're gonna have to find a way to get this on the video.
You can screenshot it and we'll put it up here. We'll put it right up in here.
Okay. So I think it's a book. It's a martial art for. Oh no, this is a real. What the fuck? Is it? It's a movie.
A movie
It's
called
called-
Jiu-Jitsu?
Jiu-Jitsu: The Hebrew Hands of Fury. Eliezer Rabbi Daniel
Is it spelled?
Kupperberg Paul.
Is it spelled Jiu-Jitsu though?
It's on Amazon.
Yeah, we're definitely putting it right here.
Is it a movie or a book? It's a book. It's a paperback book for $12
$12.
called Jiu-Jitsu: The Hebrew Hands of Fury by Rabbi Daniel Eliezer. And it's got a picture. You might be able to see.
Oh yeah, a Jewish star.
We'll still put it up there, but just in case. Yeah, it's got the Star of David and then a rabbi doing a karate kick with like the whole
the rabbi
yeah, and like the
clothes
hat
on
and everything.
yeah.
It's got 3.8 stars with 20 reviews.
Jiu-Jitsu.
That's wild. 112 pages.
That's a hell of a book.
I was not expecting that at all. Then there's just funny shirts, obviously. Jiu-Jitsu t-shirt. Reddit. Maybe not go there. That's
I could only imagine
already
what's on Reddit.
Just the preview.
Reddit's always kind of have some off the wall shit.
The preview of it, I'm not gonna click on it. Is it's from r/memes, and it's I know jujitsu. I think the gas chamber would be farting at your opponent. I'm Jewish, so it's okay.
Yeah, probably don't click that one.
Oh man, that's crazy. Oh, and then now there's another book. It's Jiu-Jitsu, turning our enemies' arguments against them. So it seems less like actual martial arts Jiu-Jitsu and Jiu-Jitsu in the sense of like debating.
Yeah.
That's crazy stuff. I don't see any like businesses or anything though, which I mean now that we've talked about it, it's not all that surprising.
We should start one.
I suppose if there was like a community that was like mostly Jewish people, which I'm sure there's communities for almost everybody that's in like, you know, not a confined area. That sounds bad.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, like same.
That sounds bad.
They're confined there. Stay there with your own group. I'm sure there's like a small one somewhere that's not like online, that like in like a Jewish specific community that's like, hey, we want to learn jujitsu too.
Yeah, there might be. I don't know that it necessarily be called jujitsu though. If
I was Jewish and I was in a Jewish community and I knew enough people wanted to do jujitsu, that's exactly what I would name it. I'm not afraid to talk about religion, but I don't usually try to unless the other person is well aware of my stance, because I will definitely offend somebody.
Yeah.
And like I don't mean to offend. It's not like, oh, you're religious, you're stupid. That's not my
it's more of just like you don't understand how it could be a thing or believe it in a sense.
The main thing to me is I don't need a religion to tell me to be a good person. Is like that's like the main principle of what I think about it. Like no matter your religion, because from my understanding, the general idea of most religions is this is how you be a good person. For the most part, and because you have to be a good person to get whatever benefit it is that religion says you'll get, and like I'm just gonna be a good person. I know how to do that. Like, don't treat people poorly. It's pretty simple to me. It's like I don't see a need to take up my Sundays to be told how to be a good person.
Yeah, I don't think we should go into this very much.
Yeah,
even though I know your stance on it, because the other part is like obviously, you know, I am Christian and I believe in it, but I don't want to say it hasn't been long enough, but like I don't know a whole lot. So like I can't really talk about it and try and make a point because I don't want to say something that's incorrect.
Yeah.
Is basically what it comes down to. So that's why I'd say we should probably.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, and like I was saying though, like I said, I don't think like, oh, you're religious, you must be stupid. But
yeah, I
do know that almost every religion does have people that are like, no, you either are my religion or you're nothing to me, basically.
Yeah. And
like that's another kind of part that turns me off, because like I know it's not everybody that does that, but like the fact that there are people like that, I'm just not gonna get involved.
Yeah, I definitely see that. I mean, the thing is like I don't think it all is about be a good person and you benefit this. Because the way you're looking at it as people are only doing it to benefit themselves. And majority of people are doing it to, yes, I will admit, benefit themselves, but also to benefit other people.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I can do that without taking up a day of my week.
here's the deal though: is being Christian isn't just. It's not like obviously I don't go to church on Sundays.
Oh, I thought you did.
Kenzie's very religious. Kenzie's entire family is very religious. They're very Christian. None of them. I mean, every once in a while they'll go on like a Sunday, but it's not like they go literally every single Sunday.
Yeah.
It's literally just living in the view of God. Essentially, is what it is. So like, for example, Kale he doesn't go to church every Sunday, but he has it's called Through the Struggle. He has a religious podcast where he talks about different devotionals, different Bible verses, different things that he's experienced and how he portrays God's will in those things.
Yeah.
So I think that's the biggest issue is a lot of people look at it, especially as like being Christian of like, oh, I have to go to church every Sunday and I have to, and I have to, and I have to, and I have to, and I have to. And the reality of it is it's just, like I said, I don't know enough about it, so I can't.
Yeah.
I don't want to say something that sounds stupid or doesn't make sense. But I think that's the biggest issue. Is a lot of people look at it like that when it's in reality, it's more of just the way you live life and dedicating those things you do to somebody specific.
Yeah.
So it to me, when what you just said, it sounds like you're the same way I am, except I'm dedicating it to God in a sense.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the thing of like I don't not believe in God. I just don't necessarily believe. Like I'm a big I have to see
Yeah.
concrete proof before I believe in it, but I also need concrete proof that it doesn't
Yeah.
exist or whatever before I'll say that it doesn't. So I very well may like naturally, act the way one would if they were Christian. I just I don't put that label on it. Essentially,
that's what I mean. Is like a lot of people look at it as if you're Christian, then you, like I said, you have to go to church and you have to do all these things, and it's like a lot of people, the way they live their lives is the same way a regular Christian would live their lives.
Yeah.
They just don't realize it in a sense.
Yeah, because that's actually something that came up.
And that's let me say this real quick, and that's why like I'm definitely not one of those people that like if you're not Christian then you mean nothing to me, because it's one that's not God's vision.
Yeah.
And two,
that's literally called extremism. Like that's what I was saying. Like most people aren't like that.
And that's what I mean. And two, it's like just because you say something doesn't mean that you're not living life the same way I am, but without believing in the same thing.
Yeah.
But
one thing the other day, so Shelby is religious, and not entirely. I should probably ask her what specific religion she follows, but
I think it's Christian based off of
isn't there like
Luray.
different like versions or whatever?
I don't know for sure. I want to say Catholic and Christian are kind of similar, but they're different. I think
that's what I'm saying.
I think it
it's
depends
like one
on
of those or something.
New and Old Testament or something like that.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't know a whole lot.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say anything that's wrong, but I think based off of like what I've heard from Luray, I want to say Christian, but I'm not sure.
But so we were just kind of laying and watching TV, and I think something vaguely religious came on, or maybe something had happened the day before, and she was thinking about it. But she started crying, and I was like, why are you crying? And she said, you're going to think I'm weird or whatever. And I'm like, I got it out of her, and she's like, when we die, I want you to go to the same place as me. And it took me a second to realize, what she was meaning, because I wasn't religious. And I'm like, well, from my understanding, you don't have to fully believe to go to heaven, right? You just have to be a good, be a good person, a good enough person to go. And then, God loves everybody. So if you're a good person, you get in, even though if you don't necessarily believe. And she said, well, I think she thinks that from what she remembers or whatever, because she has stopped going because of the church that up in Pleasant Hill was saying, like, if you don't believe, then there's no chance you're going to get in.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I told her, I was like, but from what I've always heard is, like I said, God loves everybody. Even if you're a bad person, it's just not necessarily you're not going to make it to heaven if you're, a bad person or whatever. And so that, I do have some idea of how things work, and like, so that's kind of what I was getting at of like, I just don't put the label on it, I guess.
Yeah.
Is the big thing. I think it's more because I don't want to have to like worry about like, oh, is every single thing I'm doing fitting in with that? I'm gonna have my own faith in myself that I'm doing enough that fits in with that. That if it is real, whatever, then it works out.
I will say, like, before me and Kinsey got together, I was not nearly as much. Like, I was not. I was more like you. I was like, I feel like I'm a good person. I don't know. I don't care. Didn't you know what I mean? And then after being with Kinsey and going to church a few times and listening to some of the words and realizing certain things that were happening at the same time. I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, it's just coincidences, but there's been a very large amount of things that have been like, okay, there's something else going on here. This isn't just a coincidence.
Yeah.
And I know one thing that you saw that's you were probably like, yeah, that is kind of weird, but you're also probably you seem like the type of person that would be like, oh, it's just a coincidence. But when Pops passed away and we were going up to bury him or whatever, and we stopped at I think we stopped at Hy-Vee to get breakfast.
Oh yeah, and
that guy looked fucking exactly like him.
Yeah, that stuff like that does. Yeah, like I never really know how I feel about stuff like that because, like, that is wild.
And listen to this. So when we found out Kinsey was pregnant with JC, obviously we didn't have a name picked out, and we were going into Hy-Vee in Altoona, and we had like a couple of names picked out. None of them, not one single one of them, had to do with Grandma. We were walking into Hy-Vee, and this lady walks out of Hy-Vee. I swear to God, I legitimately almost started crying because I thought it was Grandma walking out of Hy-Vee. And at that moment, I was like, yeah, JC's name will have my grandma's name in it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I am more open to the idea of it than I used to be. But it's, I don't know how to explain it. But yeah, because, like, I used to be like, like you were saying, the whole thing with Pops, where I'd be like, yeah, I mean, people look similar, whatever. But like at that point, I was like, that's pretty crazy.
The thing is, it's like it was that exact moment of taking him up there or whatever when it happened. So it's like if you saw him the next day, it might be, oh, you want it to look like him, so you know what I mean. Whereas this was like. It wasn't even just like Lorraine saw him and was like, that looks like Pops. It was literally everyone saw him and was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I mean. Like having scenarios like that and different things happen after like I got with Kinsey. Cause like I don't remember anything like that before I got with Kinsey, started going to church and started actually thinking about that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't remember having any scenarios like that where I was like, holy shit. And then after I started having different things happen over and over and over and over again. I was like, there's got to be something else here. Something else is going on. Yeah. But I don't know. I know we said we were going to stop talking about this, and we've been talking about it for like 15 minutes now.
Yeah, because I could keep going, but I mean, because there's other reasons that like I'm a little less. I think if certain things have happened or didn't happen, I would be even more open to it because like. And I've mentioned it, we were going through IVF and everything. It's like, it's easy to say, that's the plan or whatever, but like, I kind of don't care. Like, I don't like that plan, so that's bullshit. If it is real, like, that's kind of what I'm saying is like, that fucking sucks. Like,
but also. A lot of people look at scenarios like that, like, this sounds bad, but I want it now. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I don't want to go, I don't want to wait, I don't want to go through your plan, I want it now. But a lot of people don't look at it as, what is it protecting you from?
Yeah, and that's kind of what I think Lorraine has talked about of, like, maybe Shelby would pass away.
Maybe Shelby would pass away. Maybe you would have the baby, and 6 months later, the baby would pass away. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many different things that in God's eyes could be the reason for it, in a sense.
Let's see, and again, we're keep going, but like, I get that part, but then my response would just be, well, if then the whole thing is his plan, why would he plan to, like, why does he have to stop this from happening to stop the baby from dying 6 months later if that's also his plan. You know what I mean?
Back to what I said a little bit ago is I don't know a lot.
Yeah.
But I will say that I know God does not control every aspect of your life.
Right.
So if the way I look at it is if there's a set moment that is going to happen and God uses his will to step in and stop that from happening, the reason he's doing that is because, and we're getting real deep into it now when I start talking about this, but so a lot of people, and I could be wrong, but a lot of people say that the devil used to be an angel.
Right.
If the devil used to be an angel, then he has as much will as God does. A lot of people say that when things are happening, the devil is attacking you. God can't stop the devil from attacking you. All he can do is try to prevent it. So by preventing it, he is not allowing you guys to bear child now to prevent the devil from attacking you with that child.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is the part where we diverge a little bit because I get that.
A lot of people look at it as God is the one doing these things to you.
Yeah.
God is the one preventing the devil from doing things to you.
Yeah. Yeah, this, like I was saying, this is the part where we diverge a little bit because, like, I understand all that, and, like, I know that's, like, the belief and everything. But that's the part where I kind of get into, like, it's a little too much for me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not knocking it, you know, whatever. I'm
And
not saying
why I
you're
said
weird for thinking that or whatever, but
that's why I said we're getting real deep into it now because that's where a lot of people look at it with is once it gets to that point, it's too deep, and
yeah,
some people think that, some people don't, but
yeah, I think that's the, like, I wish, not to say I'm, like, amazing or anything, but I wish more people were like me, whereas, like, if you're not religious, that's cool. If you're religious, that's cool. But, like, I don't have to say you're a moron for thinking that. Like,
and vice versa. Just because
yeah.
I'm religious, I'm not like, you're a fucking idiot because you don't believe in anything.
Yeah, like, it's perfectly fine to be like, I don't believe in that. I think it's one thing. Doesn't mean anything about that person if they don't think the same way. And that goes, another topic that we probably shouldn't get into is politics. Like,
oh yeah,
so many people think you have to agree with 100% of what this side says or 100% of what this side says.
There's certain things that I'm gonna vaguely touch this. There's certain things that Trump has said and done that I'm like, no. But there's other things that Trump has said and done, which is why, like, I'm gonna say it, I voted for Trump.
Yeah.
Because he had more things, and I'm gonna say this now. How do I say this? Neither one of them were a good option.
Agree.
Do I believe Trump was the better option? Yes. We're going to stop it there.
I can't answer that question because I don't. Yeah, neither was a good option. I didn't vote for anybody.
Oh.
Yeah.
When people bring religion into politics, I'll never have a conversation about religion and politics. Like, I'll never, if someone wants to have a conversation, I'll say those are two separate things.
Yeah.
I can be a Democrat and be Christian. I can be a Republican and be Christian. I can be part of Jiu-Jitsu and be a Democrat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When people try and bring the two together, it's like those don't belong together. They don't.
Yeah.
Alrighty, guys. I think we're going to head out for the day. We talked about a couple of different subjects, gave our different points of views, had a little bit of fun along the way, but don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you again next week on Same Roots, Different Routes.
Though they roam in distant flights, still the roots hold them tight.